So we've created our octagonal shaped highlight brush tip. We've modified its dynamics so it sprays in a nice scattered fashion and a random fashion, and the next thing to do is to basically fine-tune these octagons to make them look like they're really highlights in the background and not just sprayed on by Photoshop's tools. So to do that, first of all, we need to get rid of octagons that shouldn't be showing up, like the ones overlapping the girl. And to do that, grab the eraser tool and then just click on the top layer and spray out anything that's overlapping her that shouldn't do. We'll get rid of these two up here as well. And that's a little bit more realistic because these highlights are only out of focus highlights from objects in the background really, and they wouldn't show up on the girl herself. Now they're not looking very realistic at the moment, they're looking like brush tips, so we need to blend them more effectively by changing the blending mode to color dodge. That lets you bring out the original colors in the background and it makes the shot look much more realistic. They're still a little bit too CG, computer generated, so what we need to do is blur them. And the last filter we used was Gaussian blur, so it remembers that, and we'll use the same blur of 15 to help these blend more effectively and realistically with the background. Now the cool thing is once we've made our brush tip, we can actually use it to create more subtle effects by creating a new transparent layer, like so. Make sure you go back to the brush tool, there we go. And there's our octagonal brush at the top there, but let's change the size now by making it much smaller, maybe around about 100, and then if we just click and spray we can add some more subtle highlights in the background. If you hit tab it gets rid of the floating windows, there we go, it's a little bit more subtle. And again we can do the same thing, go to filter, Gaussian blur to blur those, and then change the blending mode again to color dodge and reduce the opacity as well, just to make them a little bit more subtle, and it creates a bit of depth there now. And of course we do have some overlapping our girls, so we need to go back to the eraser just to tidy up any stray bits of highlight we don't want. So there's our bokeh effect, and we have a little bit of blending going on to get the colour of the brush tips blending with the background. We've got different size brushes, different opacities, and we've also got some masks to create blur background and sharp female subjects. So there we have our bokeh effect, and you can apply that to your own portraits quite